game is amazing. Hello everybody, this is Bat, and today I'll be talking about Satisfactory's best alternative recipes. This video is about my top 10 alternative recipes. If you would want me to go through every single recipe or hard drive, or just a longer list, please tell me in the comments below. Real quick, we're talking about alternative recipes, which can be used in your factories to improve factory efficiency, space usage, and resource productivity. I also want to let you guys in on a little tip for those who didn't know. If you're really looking for a specific alternative recipe, you can save the game after finding a hard drive. Then scan it in the MAM, and if you don't get the right recipe, load the last save. It's important that you save before starting the scan, because the recipes are decided right as you start. Okay, now let's begin. At number 10, I got Polyester Fabric. I was a little skeptical about this one, because if I'm being honest, I rarely use fabric, but this is the only way to get it automated, so I still consider this recipe to be decent. Here it is. For 10 cubic meters of water and 16 polymer resin in the refinery, you get 1 fabric. Normally you need to go gather mycelia, but with this you can, as I mentioned, automate it. Okay, my pick for number 9 isn't really a recipe, but it's rather an upgrade. At number 9, I have the inflated pocket dimension, which gives inventory expansion. These can also be unlocked from hard drives. The first one you unlock in tier 2, the other one is unlocked in tier 5. Both of them give an extra 5 inventory slots, and they're pretty sweet. Okay, number 8 is the wet concrete recipe. I consider it to be pretty decent. Basically, all you have to do is add water to the production line and get double the amount of concrete in comparison to the limestone. As I mentioned, it's okay, it's nothing extraordinary. It's not often that I run out of concrete, so that's why it's at number 8. Okay, here at number 7, I've placed the pure materials, such as the pure iron, copper and aluminum ingots, and also the pure quartz. So basically how it works is you add water to the production in the refinery and you get more product. For example, the pure iron ingot recipe looks like this. 7 iron ore plus 4 cubic meters of water becomes 13 iron ingots. This is how all the pure recipes work. Other than that, it ain't much more to say. At number 6, I have the heavy encased frame recipe. Normally these frames take a long time to make, and they also require a lot of materials. With this recipe you can swap out the screws for concrete and spend a little bit less of every required part and gain faster production and more product. Here's the recipe. 8 modular frames, 10 encased industrial beams, 36 steel pipes and 22 concrete gives you 3 modular frames. Overall great recipe. By the way, if you have any questions about this video or topic, please comment them below or join my Discord and write a question and I'll answer way quicker. Number 5 is the stitched iron plate recipe. This one lets you swap out the screws out of the reinforced iron plate recipe for copper wire. This one is especially and almost only good in early game. Here's the original recipe. 6 iron plates and 12 screws gives you 1 reinforced iron plate. And here's the alternative recipe. 20 iron plates and 20 copper wire gives you 3 reinforced iron plates. For spot number 4, I got the copper alloy ingot recipe. The recipe looks like this. 20 copper ingots for 5 iron ore and 10 copper ore. This recipe creates 100 copper ore per minute, which is pretty crazy. This recipe is very good in terms of space and ore use. It also, as I mentioned, uses iron, which is even more common than copper. All in all, great recipe. Okay, at number 3 I got the casted screw recipe and the steel screw recipe. I felt like I had to put these two into one because they both manufacture screws. These one are also very good in early game, especially the casted screw one. It doesn't cost any less material, it just skips one step in the production line. Here's the normal recipe, 1 iron rod and get your 4 screws. Here's the alternative recipe, casted screws, 20 screws for 5 iron ingots. This will essentially only save you space and make the production line more efficient. The other alternative recipe I mentioned is the steel screw recipe, and it looks like this. One steel beam gives you 52 screws. This one is not necessarily faster, but the main advantage with this one is that it makes factories much more compact. Here are a few honorable mentions. I'll throw some quick ones on you that you can Google and really benefit from. Here we go. Silicon circuit board, bolted frame, Criterion computer, turbo rigger motor, diluted package fuel, and encased industrial pipe. Okay, we're getting close to the end right here. Steel rods are my pick for spot number 2. This one is good if you don't have the 2 recipes I mentioned at spot number 6 or just when you need more rods. Here's the recipe. 1 steel ingot gives you 4 iron rods. This one is especially good if you match it with this next one I'm gonna mention. I don't know if this one is obvious. After I did some research, it seemed pretty obvious to me. The best alternative recipe, in my opinion, is the solid steel ingots. This one is not very complicated. This is a normal recipe. 3 coal and 3 iron ores for 3 steel ingots. The alternative recipe is 2 coal and 2 iron ingots for 3 steel ingots. The only bad thing about this one is you have to smelt the iron ore, but other than that, it's simply 33% cheaper. I like this one because it helps you all through early game into end game.